I have a lot of people who are interested in watching this because they couldn't be here tonight, so it will be posted tomorrow. And we'll start off with the different kinds of Fitbits and what each one of them have. If you go to Fitbit.com, you can come up with this very same chart. The Surge, I'm going to talk about the HR tonight, and I think Don has the Flex. So real quickly here, Don, you can see Don won the Fitbit in the challenge. Yeah, if everybody would say, congratulations, Don.
Congratulations, Don. And Connie did too, right, Connie?
Huh?
And Connie also did.
No, oh, your Connie won a Fitbit?
Yeah, Connie, you won a Fitbit in the Health Games, right?
No, not me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My mistake.
Okay, because she just told us.
I don't know about it. So.
Okay. Okay.
And, you know, Gary won a Fitbit also, but he's on vacation, so I didn't even tell him about this meeting tonight. So if you look through here really quick at the Flex, it has the steps, the calories, the distance, and I didn't bring my glasses, isn't that terrible? And then it has the sleep tracking, and it has the silent awake alarm, and it has your active minutes. So anytime we're talking about those things, Don, then that's going to apply to the Fitbit that you have. The difference between the HR and the Surge, they were significant to me. So I ended up with the HR. The HR stands for the heart rate monitor. So in the Surge, you get a multi-sport feature, which I have no clue what that is. And you get the text notifications, music control, and GPS tracking. So I have those things on my phone, and I really didn't want them on my wrist. And so I opted for the Charge HR. The prices go from $59. Yay, don't you have, which one do you have?
I have the one.
Exactly.
And I used to have the Flex, so.
Yeah. Well, you picked up a few more features when you picked up the one. And you're interested in the HR is one of the reasons that we talked about even doing this. So you know what your features are, and we'll get started with the HR. What I decided to do, there's so much to know that I just covered what is on our cell phone and how we use what's on our phone. And so the dashboard looks like this. And these are all of the categories that you have that are available to you. And we're going to cover them each one. So when you're looking at your Fitbit, you're looking at all of the different categories, and we can go over them. What I wanted to show to you is you can customize these. If you look over here on the right, you see these are checked. That's because I hit the little edit feature that is at the top of the Fitbit. You see the edit feature right there? When you click edit, all of these little buttons appear. So what I basically did is I unchecked floors. You see where floors is? Mm-hmm. I unchecked it and it disappears. So you do not have to keep anything in your dashboard that is not important to you. You can customize your dashboard. So when it no longer appears, you may change your mind and think you would like to have it in the future. So if you go back into your edit feature and you go down to the very bottom of the list, you will see it sitting there with no check beside it. So all you have to do is check it, and then it shows back up in your features. Now when you're in the edit mode, you can also drag and drop. You can catch a hold of one of your features if you wanted to line them all up, and you can drag and drop them into any place that you want to. So I dragged the one from the bottom up here to the middle, just for the sake of demonstrating. Now you have a plus feature that's on your dashboard on your phone, and that just brings up these options that you can access quickly. You can also access them here. This just does it a little quicker. Over here where you're logging your food, I took log your food, and you see where the search box is. So you just type in the food that you're looking for. And you also can type in Medifast products, because Medifast has partnered with Take Shape for Life and with Fitbit. And as you put in your items that you're using, a lot of times we repeat those same things. You can just always have them available, click on them, and you add them again. Once you add the food, then you have to save it, and then it shows up on your dashboard, and it keeps a running count all day long of how many calories that you have eaten. I am using Tony's information because I left my Fitbit in Mississippi. It was in the wall charging. I would add to you that they notify you, Fitbit notifies you by mail when your Fitbit is running low. You get all kinds of little notifications for badges and successes that you have, which is kind of cool. So this is Tony's Fitbit. Here you have, I actually wrote it right there. Here you have the top option that's in your Fitbit on your phone, your dashboard. And if you notice over to the right there, it has a little battery. That is how much charge that you have. When you click on this option, this is what comes up. And we'll cover each one of these individually. So the silent alarm, I use this. I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I have never set an alarm clock. I always wake up early, and so I've not had to. I don't sleep through anything, never needed an alarm clock. And then when I got the Fitbit and I set it for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to go off at 6 o'clock in the morning, I was surprised at how much better I slept, because somewhere in the back of my mind, I think I was thinking, I have to be up at this time in the morning. And I can always remember looking at the clock and making sure what time it was, so I would wake up on time, since I didn't use an alarm clock. So this has been a really good feature for me, and it taught me something. And I probably should have always set an alarm clock, so I took that worry off of my mind of being awake at the right time, because now I sleep through the night and it tells me when I need to wake up, and it does it gently by buzzing on my breast.
You also respect someone else's sleep if you're sleeping with someone who might not have to get up as early as you.
Very good point. Thank you. And you can repeat or you can never repeat. That's up to you. Either one of those features gives you the option of selecting the days. Now you're in the call notification, turning on your caller ID. Not every Fitbit has this, and it is a feature of the HR. Stephanie, do you use your your caller ID?
No, I turned mine off. It just annoyed me.
Okay, so I really love the fact that I can look and see who's calling me without going to my phone. I find that to be a feature that I wanted. I mean, I wouldn't have done without that. If I'd had to go to the Surge to get the caller ID, I would have, but they offered it on the HR. Love the caller ID. Where we are. Next, we have the custom display. So you can customize your, remember where you're finding this. This is at the very top in your dashboard. Well, all of these options we're covering right now, you have to go to that where it says HR, where it shows you your little battery, and then you're going to get all these options. So you can customize what you want to show in your dashboard right here. Oops, go back up. Next is your clock face. Tony and I actually tell our Fitbits apart by this, because I have the one that shows the date and the time, and he has the one that only shows the time. Then you have your heart rate. The heart rate monitor, I keep mine on auto, but when it's not on your wrist, you're supposed to turn it off, because it skews your heart rate information. So when you're charging it or when you're taking a shower, you need to go ahead and turn it off, or else you're going to lose the importance of the data that you're collecting.
But Connie, will auto turn it off automatically?
No.
No. Okay.
No. So you need to, it'll keep recording. So
Okay.
you just go into your place there and you turn it off. So the main goals, you can only have one main goal. and in terms of showing it up on your front screen. And when you hit that goal, whichever one it is that you want it to be set for, your Fitbit will alarm and tell you you reached that goal. You can see Tony's is set on stop. And the next one is the wrist. It's very important which wrist you wear your Fitbit on, because your movement is far greater on your dominant wrist than it is on your non-dominant wrist. And if you haven't fixed that, then you're going to be recording a lot more steps than you're actually getting. So if you have your Fitbit on your dominant hand, it should show that. If for some reason you change from your non-dominant hand to your dominant hand, you do need to go in and correct that, because it will affect the numbers that you end up with. The tap gesture is on the face of the Fitbit. You can go tap, tap, and I have mine set for the clock, and it just comes up. Tap, tap, that's all you do. But you can set it for whichever feature you want to show up for you.
On the Flex, it would be a tap, tap is actually necessary for some of the features to work at all.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Anything else you want to add about the Flex? Because we do have people who have the Flex, and you're familiar with it, and I'm not.
Just, well, not right now.
Okay. At the end, because I know Don might have a question about that. So you have the all-day.
Oh, I have more than one.
Say again, Don.
I have more than one.
Okay.
So we will get those at the end of the lesson. So you have the all-day sync. That's where your Fitbit is syncing. As long as you're around your computer, it'll sync automatically, or you can go in and sync it right then and there. The HR guide is at the very bottom of this feature, and the HR guide is actually where I learned what I learned, and you can go through the HR guide and it will refresh everything we're covering tonight. The let's see what we got here. Navigating your Charge HR, charging it, the caring tips, wearing it, heart rate, tracking your exercise, tracking your sleep, call notifications, and customizing. Did you find this on yours, Stephanie? Have you gone over these categories? Yeah. Very good. And you found them helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually just have, I only have the Charge, not the Charge HR.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. So navigating Charge, press the button to see your daily active stats and real-time heart rate. So as you're using your Charge, you just press the button. First thing that comes up is the time. The next thing that comes up is the steps. The next thing that comes up is your heart rate. And it is really good to monitor heart rate on a regular basis. The charging is a little bit different from each model. This comes with a port in the back of it, and you put your cord in there and stick it into the wall, and it shows on the display how far it's charged, so you can see that. After activities, when you sweat, your wrist gets wet, clean and completely dry both your wrist and the band before re-wearing. Clean your Charge HR regularly with a mild soap-free cleanser like Cetaphil or whatever that is. If you notice skin irritation, remove the device, and there's more information. Now you can see, if you can see, can you see my little irritation on my wrist? No? See a little bit? That
Maybe a little.
Yeah. Now I'm very good about, this is for me being on vacation. And I sweat a lot and was outside a lot and doing a lot, and I didn't think to take it off. So that is a real issue, and that's with any band that you have. And what Tony and I do is we keep the wet wipes. And when we take the band off, we'll wipe our wrist, and then we'll wipe inside the band as well. And that will keep that from happening. It's gotten me twice where I've had to move it over to my dominant hand. It will work in a pocket, but I prefer to have it on a wrist, even if it isn't the right wrist that it should be on. Wearing. Charge HR is sweat, rain, and splash proof. However, the device is not swim proof or shower proof. With any wearable device, it's best for your skin if the band stays dry and clean. They repeat that. The first day I had my Fitbit, I went in the shower. Yeah. And I realized it after I was really almost through with my shower. So we hung a sticker, and it says I got Tony in here. It says remove Fitbit. And so when we had guests here in the house, they came out into the living room and they said, "What's a Fitbit?" So the note has saved me. The note has saved Tony. And if you have one, you want to think about it. It is not water proof. It's water resistant. The best way to track your heart rate, the band should be flat, a finger's width above your wrist bone. For better readings during exercise, wear the band higher up on your wrist, about 2 to 3 fingers width above your wrist bone. The heart rate, the Charge HR tracks your heart rate at all day and during exercise, and so does the Surge. That really is a great feature, and there are zones that you get in, and it shows you those zones here, and then you know when you're in fat burn, literally. So that's really a good thing to watch. Tracking your exercise, you have a stopwatch on your Fitbit, so if you hold the button that's on the side end, that stopwatch will start ticking. If you want to measure anything, it's a stopwatch. So if you want to be like, when I'm on the bicycle, I'm going for 30 minutes, and that's what I set it for, and then it'll buzz and let me know when 30 minutes is. And you can also track specific exercises. I'll go back and show you how to do that. Tracking your sleep, Charge HR can automatically track your sleep. Just wear it to bed. You can also manually log your sleep start and stop using the Fitbit app, or by pressing and holding the button until it vibrates. So I set mine before I go to bed every night. And when I get up in the morning, I wake it up. Call notification, Charge HR can receive notifications for phone calls. Charge HR will vibrate and show the name or number of the caller. You can turn the notifications on or off where I showed you, and you can find a list of compatible mobiles in right there in that same place. When you start customizing your HR, you do it by going to the account settings or on the web or on the Fitbit app. All of this can be made to look the way you want it to look. At the bottom of your dashboard, you have these options. Has anyone used, I know Dawn, you sent a friend request to me. I have not used any of the challenges, and I have not used any of the friend requests. I have friend requests, but I haven't responded to them. But the first button on the bottom of your dashboard is the link to get back to your dashboard. So if you're in any of the other screens, you simply go there to get back to your dashboard.
Connie, Dawn got booted off and she can't get back in.
All right. She said she might because she's having internet problems. And she said she'll catch this tomorrow. And then the challenges, they have Goal Day, Weekend Warrior, Daily Showdown, and Work Week Hustle. I'm going to do another Fitbit session after this because there was no way that anyone was going to stay here long enough for me to actually do this and what's available on the web. So we will do another one, and one time is plenty because you can go back to this recording and go over everything we're covering and find it and help yourself so you get the full benefit of what it is you're using. There is a community, and there's Fitbit Help. You can add friends, and the way you add friends is by inviting them from email. You can scan your contacts, or you can connect through Facebook. So that's really a kind of cool feature there. I haven't used that yet either. And at the very bottom, there is a way, the information to set up a new Fitbit. So if you get one and you need help, you can call me or you can go here, and it does make it very simple. You do have help articles available to you. You have a forum that's available to you, and you have a help forum that's available. You also have email customer support. I have not made use of all of this. I probably will before we do the next challenge. I mean, the next, the next Fitbit exploration, as I called it today. And does anyone have any questions, or does anyone want to revisit any of the screens?
I'll ask a question. You mentioned about the stopwatch. Do you know if there's a maximum amount of time you can set it for? And I'll just tell you why I'm asking the question. Like how someone could actually use it as a reminder to eat maybe like after 2.5 hours. And they could set their set watch for 2.5 hours. Would that work?
It isn't that you set it for an amount of time. It's the stopwatch. It starts ticking. And I have forgotten that I've set it and not stopped it. And it was still going.
Okay, so it actually could be. We could eat our meal, start our stopwatch, and then when we, start feeling hungry, we can see, have we passed the 2-hour mark, and are we before the 3-hour mark? And
Exactly. It could be used for that, Gay. That's good.
I like that.
Any other questions?
Is there a password to get back in?
To the meeting, there should not be. You know what she's having a problem with because I'm sharing. I'm going to stop share. And she'll be able to come back in then. Go ahead. I'm ready. If I can answer any questions.
So is the feature for sleep on the HR, you have a button that you press to start it?
Yeah.
And then in the morning when you wake up, you press it again to stop it, correct?
Exactly. Hold on a minute and I'll do this.
It's different on the Flex as well as on the One. They're both different. But one thing for those who
I'm going to see that. Yeah, we can see that. So that
are learning, go ahead.
That very top item is where all of the help is. You just go there and click on that. And then all your features are down here. So I'm going to go to sleep.
But you can press it on your arm, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can turn it on there too. Do you see the little moon?
Yep.
So that's your sleep. I've never done it on my arm. I do it on here. So nothing comes up until you go up to the plus sign. You hit the plus sign. You can add a sleep log or you can begin sleep now. So when you do begin sleep now, there it is. And then that says I'm awake in that little button. You click I'm awake, and then it gives you, this is because we didn't really sleep, then that's where you start seeing your sleep is right there.
Okay. Okay.
It's all really.
I've used both of my devices for sleep, and it's a very important feature. So that's why I wanted to learn a little bit more about how the HR does it, since I'm looking at getting that one. And I will tell you, I mean, it has really raised my awareness around sleep.
It has. I look at the Fitbit as important as me ever starting the 5-in-1 with Take Shape for Life, and you know how important that was. But for me to be able to sit down and log my food, look at my sleep, it makes me get out and if I don't have what I want in there in the way of movement, I'm going to do something to where I make that needle move besides just the steps. So it is a motivator. It's a constant reminder. And I want to get better at using it. I think probably everyone that has Fitbits, I know Katie said today in the room that she's going to get hers out and get started back with it. She had even allowed it to go dead and it's laying in a drawer somewhere. And I can see that happening. I hope it doesn't ever happen to me, and I hope we're able to encourage other people to get this, because I think it's really important for creating health, if that's what you're
making. I agree. I think it really complements the health games too. I use it to, when I log my exercise each day, I do that in a day. I'll go ahead and just record how many steps I had for the day. And then also when it comes to determining whether or not I reach my 7 hours of sleep each night, you know, use what I logged on my Fitbit to determine
Right.
whether or not I did that.
And I will add that you do not have to have a Fitbit to use their logs. You can go ahead and get the app. You can download it into your phone, and you can start logging your food, logging your movement. It's just not going to track it for you. The app itself is still very useful, even if you don't have the Fitbit yet. It's just when you get the Fitbit, you're going to start getting data input to it.
Mhm.
So let me show you one more thing.
I'm just going to interject with a little piece
Go
of
ahead.
advice as well. If any of you shop at Walgreens on a regular basis and you get your little points, you can actually hook your Fitbit up to your Walgreens account so that your points, your steps add up into points on your Walgreens account. You know, they have that little points that you can add up to get money off of your Walgreens,
Wow.
purchase. So
Good. Well, you know what's great about that, Stephanie, is it makes me that they probably also have other partners. So if
oh yeah, they do. I mean,
not
they-
where we go, there might be other partners for us to check out.
right. So check into that. It works out pretty well. I actually get quite a bit of points for just my walking. So
Like that.
So can you tell us how to do that, Steph? Because that's totally news to me. I was hoping we'd get input from other people with them about things we didn't know, and that's a big one.
basically, if you have your little Walgreens, I can't even remember what they call it, but a little card or anything that you want, I guess, you can look at. Even some of the other apps that I use, what is the one? Fitness Pal.
Yeah,
I
Fitness
think
Pal.
it is. Like you can hook that up. There's several of them that you can kind of hook your tracker into to kind of help along with your,
Yeah.
recording everything. But for Walgreens, all you do is go to your, the Walgreens website, and usually have to have a login and a password, and you set it for, your Walgreens account. And then they have a place for fitness, and you can basically go through the steps. It shows you exactly how to do it, of hooking up your Fitbit to your Walgreens account. You can also, even if you don't have like a Fitbit, if you have Walgreens and want to do it, you can also just go in and manually record your steps for the day, or your exercise, or your weight loss. It's all of those things give you points through Walgreens. So
I'll definitely talk more about that to you. And when we do the next Fitbit training, I'll have information of partners and things like that. I know there is also a heart vault, but I didn't want to get into all of that tonight. And yeah, that's another interesting feature. There's just too much that's available through this that I think people would find it overwhelming. And let's take a little bit at a time. Let's expose this from the beginning. When I got my Fitbit, I was completely lost, and the information out there is very general. It doesn't really even tell you where to go find the information. So I'm hoping this will help anyone who's considering to get it. And Carol, if you get one, I will sit down with you and help you get yours set up. And that's true of anybody else in the room that needs it. Dorothy.
Yeah.
So you have the bracelet you have is,
The Withings.
and you're not really satisfied with that.
Well, I got it as a gift.
Uh-huh.
And there are a lot of things that it doesn't do. But I don't know about yours. Mine gives me information just by looking at it. I don't have to go to my phone.
yeah.
You get information without going to your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, in the
Okay.
face. That's you go through the buttons. Uh-huh.
I'm not satisfied with mine because it doesn't measure correctly. I have never gotten over 5,000 steps.
Now, do you know if you have? Well, it would usually show more than you should, but yours might have that dominant and non-dominant feature in terms of what hand it is on.
I'm wearing it on my left.
Yeah, so it should actually be showing you more steps than than less. So I can't imagine what that is. Now, when I went to look to do a bracelet, I didn't feel like I had to have a Fitbit at all. I looked at the up. I looked at,
Jawbone.
yeah, I did.
Mine hardly ever records up. I can run up and down the stairs. And I
Mhm.
did contact them, and they said it was, you have to be swinging your arms. I mean, when I'm on the treadmill, it really isn't recording correctly.
Mhm.
So, and I don't hold on when I'm on the treadmill either. My arms are swinging, but I contacted them and they said it's a logarithm that's built in. I don't have a measurement of steps, like you guys set your measurement of steps. I don't have that ability.
I don't know about the other Fitbits, but the HR has light sensors on the back, and it reads through the sweat that's in the skin. And
Mine doesn't come in contact with my skin. In order to do my heart rate and my oxygen level, I have to take it out of the case. But I do have heart rate and oxygen level.
oh, okay, so you can test it. Did anybody else check other types of bracelets, fitness bracelets that are out there?
No.
Okay. So I did, and Fitbit was the one that when I was reading what other people had to say about the bracelets, Fitbit was always, there's bracelets that are more accurate. They're a lot more expensive, but they don't have the features that the Fitbit has either. I can't remember the names of all of them, but I did not just go to the store and buy an HR. I did a lot of investigating before I did, and for what I wanted, that was the bracelet for me.
Now, was it Bev that said she definitely had some questions?
No, it was Dawn, and Dawn got kicked off. Bev, do you have any questions?
I don't think so at this point. I've got the Flex, and I really would like to get the HR.
Okay.
Like me as well.
And I would imagine the HR will be improved on, and eventually, that'll be something that I'll be interested in the future, because technology is always getting better. But I don't think waiting is the answer, and I think they have it priced right. I was really surprised that it was $149. I ain't really expected it. I'm surprised that the Surge is $249 because it's like comparable to the Apple Watch. Yeah. So,
That's a good point.
okay, so if no one else has any questions, I'll go ahead and stop the recording. No more questions?
I just sent Dawn a note to ask her if she wanted to send me the questions.
Okay,
So give me a minute and see if she, answers me back.
So
good.
Connie, one of the things I'm going to be looking into is as I move up to the HRs to find out if I can actually have two devices, and on a day that I might not want to wear the HR, if I can use my one. And I think I mentioned to you before, so I had the Flex, and there are times when I'm just dressed in a way that I don't want the black band on my arm.
Yeah.
And so I like the one because I clip it on. I clip it on right on my bra in the middle, and it never shows. You can't tell that I have it on. And I do like that feature about it. Now I can't see it, but I can see my phone if I want to check my progress throughout the day. So there's some features I like about it. So it still works. I want to move up to the HR, but I'm going to be trying to find out if on a day I don't want to wear the HR, if I can still go back and forth with my dashboard.
That'll be you can share that with us the next time we meet.
Mm-hmm.
If the information merges. I wouldn't see how it would, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did either.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as I learn more about how the HR works, I guess I'll know whether or not it's something that I can do.
Did you get anything, Dorothy?
Not yet.
For those that might be looking at the one, it doesn't, it is a little aggravating. You have to put it in a sleeve, a little Velcro sleeve that comes with it, and put it on your arm for it to record your sleep at night. And over time, I feel like the Velcro doesn't stick as well. And sometimes I'll wake up in the morning, it'll be somewhere in my bed. So apparently I move a lot.
Oh,
Now mine also has a clip, and I can clip it to my pajamas, and it will give me an accurate reading of my sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That does work.
okay. Well, Dorothy, I'll get with Dawn, and I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you, everybody, for participating.